There's a moment in every betrayal, every lie, that changes everything. For me, that moment came in a hotel room, late at night, with my husband's best friend. What started as a harmless conversation, a moment of comfort in a sea of loneliness, quickly became the worst decision of my life. I thought I could control it. I thought I could walk away without consequences. But the moment I gave in, everything shattered, and standing there, as the truth spilled out like a flood, I realized one thing. Once trust is broken, it can never be fixed. This is the story of the worst mistake I ever made in Los Angeles. My name is Jennifer. I'm 32 years old, and I never thought I'd be standing here telling you this story. I never thought I'd find myself in a place so destroyed, but here I am, and I guess it's time to face the truth. To face the truth about what I did, and what happened because of it, what I've lost. I thought I knew what betrayal was, Thought I could never fall into that kind of mess. But I was wrong. So wrong. The moment everything changed, the moment I let him inside, that's when it all came crashing down. You might be wondering what I mean by that. Well, I'll tell you. That night, I was lost. And he was there, standing in front of me, so close. His presence was too familiar, but so damn different. He was my husband's friend, my husband's best friend. I didn't want to admit it to myself, but I knew what he was offering, and I knew what I was willing to take. Everything changed the moment I let him inside. The moment I made that choice, I can't ever go back. And trust me, I didn't realize how much it would haunt me, how it would twist me from the inside out. I couldn't even look at myself after. But you see, what happened next? What happened after that night? It was far worse than anything I could have ever imagined. It's not even about what I did. It's about what came after. My husband's friend, he looked at me. And when he looked at me, God, I swear I'll never forget the look in his eyes. It was like everything we had done, the secret, the lies, it hit him harder than it hit me. His eyes that once held laughter and friendship, now filled with something else. Anguish, pure, raw anguish. He stood there in front of me, trembling like a man who had just realized he had lost everything. I had lost everything. And as those words left his lips, it felt like everything I had ever known had shattered. Broken into pieces I would never be able to pick up again. He said to me, "I can't take it anymore." Can you imagine that? Can you imagine hearing those words from the person who had always been there? Who had been so damn close to you, to your life, to your marriage? The man who was always just there. Now that same man stands in front of you and says those words. It crushed me. It crushed me to hear him say that. Not because he had the right to say it, but because I knew he was right. I had crossed a line that I couldn't erase. I had gone too far, and that's when it all hit me. It was all gone. Everything. My marriage, my trust, my sanity, gone. In one single moment. And I hated myself. Hated myself for being weak, for being so stupid. I thought that moment, when it was just us together alone, would somehow make it all better. But it didn't. It never does. It just made everything worse. Because what was supposed to be just a moment turned into this nightmare that I couldn't escape. And what hurt the most, what truly hurt, was hearing him say that, hearing him admit that he couldn't take it anymore. Because, let me tell you, I wasn't the only one who couldn't take it. He couldn't either. He was torn apart just like I was, just like my husband would be once he found out. But the truth is, he already knew. Deep down, I think he had always known. That's why, when he said those words, we both knew, there was no coming back from it. Do you know what it feels like to break someone's heart? To shatter everything you once held dear in a single selfish act? It feels like nothing but pain. And it's a pain you can't escape. I tried to keep it together, tried to act like it didn't matter, tried to tell myself it was just a mistake. But you can't lie to yourself when you know you've ruined the one thing that actually meant something. And that's the truth, isn't it? No matter how much you try to convince yourself that everything will be fine, that it was just a moment of weakness, that's all it is, a lie. The truth doesn't let you off that easy. It's right there, staring at you, screaming at you. And I could feel it. I could feel that truth deep inside me. I couldn't take it anymore either. I've opened up about my biggest regret, and I can't undo it. If you feel the weight of betrayal, like I do, like this video, and subscribe to this channel. Maybe it'll remind me I'm not alone in my mistake. I trusted him. Hell, I thought I could lean on him. I thought he was my husband's best friend. A friend you could talk to when things got tough, right? When life feels like it's just too much. I had no idea that it would end up like this. He was just there, always there, being the supportive friend, helping out, listening, giving advice, offering a shoulder when things got hard. At first, it seemed innocent enough. He wasn't anything like what I imagined someone like him would be. He was, for lack of a better word, comforting. He knew how to make me laugh when I didn't feel like smiling. He knew how to say the right things when I just couldn't get my thoughts straight. And I guess I let my guard down. I told myself it was just comfort. Comfort, that's all it was. I never thought there'd be a time when he'd be the one I would turn to when my own marriage felt like it was slipping away. It was a slow burn, I didn't notice it happening, didn't see it coming. I convinced myself it was just innocent conversations, just him being there, listening when I felt unheard. But now I realize it was never innocent. It was never just comfort. I remember those nights. God, I remember. I'd sit with him, talking, and it felt safe. I could tell him things I couldn't tell my husband. Why? Why was I even doing this? Why was I leaning on him? And the worst part was that it felt good. I felt seen. I felt heard. He made me feel like I mattered, like I was important. And slowly, I let that warmth blur the line between what was right and wrong. I let it, and I thought nothing of it. It was harmless, I told myself. I never thought he would be the one to shatter everything. I thought I knew better. I thought I was stronger than this, but after that night, my whole world collapsed. You ever feel that? Like you're standing at the edge of everything you've ever known, and you realize that the ground beneath you has just crumbled? Because that's what it felt like when he kissed me. I remember it like it was yesterday, the way he pulled me close, the pressure of his lips against mine. I shouldn't have let it happen, but I did. And that kiss, it wasn't some fleeting moment of passion. It was a sign of everything I had been ignoring, everything I had been burying deep inside. But I ignored the signs. I told myself, it's just a kiss. It doesn't mean anything. But I was wrong. So wrong. It wasn't just a kiss. It wasn't just him being there. It was everything I had been holding back, the cracks in my marriage, the emptiness I felt, the loneliness, the yearning for something that felt real. And he was just the catalyst. He didn't force me, didn't twist my arm. I made that choice. I allowed it to happen. And when it was done, when it was over, I could feel the weight of what I had just done sink in. And God, did it hurt. I wanted to stop it. I wanted to pull away and pretend it hadn't happened. But I couldn't. I couldn't erase it. I couldn't erase the betrayal I had just committed. Because that kiss wasn't just a kiss. It was the beginning of the end. And I had sealed my own fate. I betrayed them both, and the guilt still hurts. Have you ever made a mistake you can't take back? Comment below. I need to know I'm not alone in this. I never thought it would get to this point. I never saw it coming. I thought I was smarter than this. I thought I could handle things. Life was, it was fine. Or at least I convinced myself it was fine. But looking back, I see how blind I was, how I just kept pretending everything was okay. I didn't set out to hurt anyone, to betray anyone. But that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. It started with little moments, just casual conversations, him being there, listening when I felt like no one else did. It felt harmless, didn't it? But somewhere along the line, it crossed a line. I crossed a line. I don't even know when it started, if I'm being honest. Maybe it was always there. Maybe I was just too scared to face it. But the more I spent time with him, the more I felt something shift inside me. It was subtle at first, just little things. His touch lingering a bit too long, the way his eyes softened when he looked at me. But I ignored it. I thought it was just a passing thing, nothing to worry about. But deep down, I knew. I knew. Then came that night. I don't even know why I didn't stop it. I knew it was wrong, but I didn't stop. He kissed me, and I kissed him back. The moment our lips touched, I felt like everything I had ever known disappeared. And I knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Nothing. But after it happened, I didn't expect it to spiral so quickly. I didn't expect it to tear everything apart. I didn't expect to feel this sick inside, like I was drowning in a pit of guilt and shame. But what really crushed me, what really shattered me, was what happened after. When he looked at me with those eyes, full of so much pain, so much regret, and he told me, I can't take it anymore. I can't even explain the weight of those words. I can't take it anymore. What the hell did he mean by that? I mean, I thought I was the one drowning in this mess, right? I thought I was the one who couldn't take it anymore. But then there he was, my husband's best friend, standing in front of me like a damn stranger, telling me he couldn't handle it. I looked at him, trying to process the words he had just spoken, trying to understand the mess I had created. He wasn't angry, not at first. There was no rage in his voice, no shouting, no blame. It was just pain. Pain. And that's when it hit me. The truth. The cold, harsh truth that I'd been running from. He had seen it. He had seen the way I looked at him, the way I leaned on him, the way I needed him when I should have been leaning on my husband, and the way I had turned to him for something that was never meant to be his responsibility. He knew. He knew exactly what I was doing. He had watched me fall, watched me make mistake after mistake, and then I hurt him too. And in the end, I had hurt myself most of all. It wasn't just the kiss. It wasn't just that one damn night. No, it was everything that came after. Everything that I couldn't take back. The guilt. The constant reminder of how far I had fallen. How much I had lost in such a short time. I never imagined how much it would tear me apart. To know that I had broken not just my husband's heart, but his best friend's heart too. And that's what hurt the most. He didn't just witness my betrayal. He felt it too. He wasn't some stranger. He was someone I had trusted. Someone who had been there for me. Too much. And now I had lost him. Lost them both. And do you know what the worst part was? The worst part was that I didn't even know how to fix it. How do you fix something like that? How do you go back and undo the damage? I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror without feeling disgusted by what I had done. It was like I was already lost, already a broken version of the person I used to be. And you know what? I couldn't even be angry at him. I couldn't blame him for how he felt. How could I? How could I, when I had been the one who destroyed everything? He was right. He was right to be angry, to be hurt. I had put him in this position, made him feel like he had no choice but to walk away. And he did. He did. But I think what hurt the most was realizing that I had never been enough. I had never been enough for my husband. And now I had destroyed any chance of ever being enough for him again. And I had destroyed the only relationship that could have helped me survive this, my husband's best friend. And here I am, standing in the wreckage of my own damn choices. And it's all my fault. It's all on me. I can't undo my pain, but maybe you can stop someone else from making the same mistake. Share this video. You could save someone from the regret I'll never escape. I didn't expect it to come to this, but I should have known, right? After everything that had happened, after everything I'd done, I should have known it was coming. There's no running from the truth forever, no hiding from the damage you've done. But when it happened, I didn't know how to breathe, ma'am. My husband's best friend, he walked into the room like he had been summoned by some cruel fate. And my husband? He was right behind him. Standing there, the tension so thick, I could barely see. I had no idea what to say. I had no idea what they were going to say. But I knew this was it. This was the moment everything I'd tried to hide, every lie I'd spun, was about to come crashing down on me. I remember my husband's face, the anger in his eyes, the hurt, the betrayal. He didn't even say anything at first. It was like he didn't have to. His eyes said everything. They looked at me, and then they looked at his best friend, and then I saw the pain hit him. It was in his eyes, and I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't breathe through it. Not when I saw the disappointment written all over his face. And then my husband's best friend, the man I had trusted, the one I had betrayed, he looked at me. And for a second, I thought maybe he would say something. Maybe yell, maybe anything. But instead, he just looked at me, like he was looking at someone else, like I wasn't even the person I used to be. And that's when the silence broke. That's when everything went to hell. My husband's best friend, he looked at me, his face full of disbelief, but his voice, it was cold. He was so calm. Too calm, like he had already made peace with the chaos he had seen. "I can't take it anymore," he said, his voice shaking with emotion. It wasn't anger. It wasn't rage. It wasn't anything I could have expected. It was something far worse. It was resignation. Like he had accepted that what we had, the friendship, the trust, the years of knowing each other, it was all gone. Gone in an instant because of my stupid mistake, and all I could do was stand there, frozen. Because in that moment I knew he was right. He couldn't take it anymore. He was done, and so was I. I had crossed a line, and what hurt more than anything in that room was not the anger, not the blame, not the tears my husband was holding back. No, what hurt the most was looking at him, my husband's best friend, and seeing him as broken as I felt, because he wasn't just mad. He wasn't just angry at what I'd done. He was devastated, and I had caused it. I had caused that devastation. I had torn apart something that was so damn good, so pure, and now I was standing in the middle of it, watching it all burn to the ground because of me. I broke him, and I knew it. I could see it in his eyes. He had trusted me, and I broke him, and I couldn't undo it. I couldn't fix it. I wanted to run. I wanted to scream. I wanted to say something, anything, to take back what I had done. But there were no words left. No words to undo the destruction I had caused. And that's when it all hit me. This was the moment I couldn't take back, the moment that would haunt me for the rest of my life. I broke down. I broke down right there in front of both of them. My husband's best friend standing across from me, watching me fall apart. My husband standing next to him, holding on to the last shred of what we had. And all I could do was cry. I could barely breathe. My chest was tight with guilt, with pain, with the realization of what I had done. I had betrayed him. I had betrayed both of them. And now, the truth was out. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to beg for forgiveness. But the words wouldn't come. I couldn't even say I was sorry without breaking into 1,000 pieces. How could I? How could I apologize for what I had done? There were no words for that. The guilt was suffocating me. I could feel it in every breath, every beat of my heart, and what hurt more than anything was seeing him, my husband's best friend, broken. He wasn't angry anymore. He was just broken. And that was because of me. I had crossed a line, and there was no coming back from it. There was no coming back from this. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't undo it. I couldn't even look at them without feeling like the worst person alive. And in that moment, standing in the wreckage of everything I had ever known, I realized I had lost them both, and I didn't deserve either of them. This journey isn't over, and I don't want to walk alone. Subscribe to stay with me, because we all need to face the truth together. I don't even know where to start. How do you even begin to accept something like this? How do you accept that you destroyed everything you ever cared about in one moment of weakness? I don't think I'll ever fully understand what happened. I don't think I'll ever fully forgive myself for what I've done. The worst part is that I can't take any of it back. I can't fix it. No matter how much I wish I could, no matter how much I wish I could turn back the clock and stop myself from making that mistake, I can't. It's too late. And now I'm standing here, looking at the wreckage of everything I built. Everything I thought I had, it's all gone. All of it, gone in an instant. And I don't know how to fix it. I can't fix it. My husband, he'll never look at me the same again. And his best friend? I've lost him too. They were both people I cared about, people I trusted, and I betrayed that trust. I destroyed the bond between us. There's no going back from that. No matter how much I want to change things, no matter how much I want to take back everything that happened, it's impossible. I look at myself now, and I hardly recognize the person staring back. The guilt, it's eating me alive. It's been days since everything went down, and I still can't shake the feeling that I'm not the person I was before. The person I used to be. She's gone. I'm just someone who destroyed everything she loved, and I'm paying the price for it. Every damn day. I thought love was enough. I thought that if you loved someone, truly loved them, you could make things work, even when things were falling apart. But love wasn't enough. It didn't protect me from making the biggest mistake of my life. It didn't protect them from the pain I caused. I tried to tell myself it was just a mistake, a moment of weakness. But that's not true, is it? It wasn't just a mistake. It was a choice. A damn choice. And I made it. I chose to betray my husband. I chose to betray his best friend. I chose to destroy everything that we had worked for, everything that we had built. And now I have to live with the consequences. I can't change what happened. But what I can do is face the truth. I can face the fact that I am the one who ruined this. I am the one who made the choice that led us here. And no amount of regret, no amount of pain is going to bring back what I lost. It's gone. But you know what? Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Maybe this is the price I have to pay for what I've done. Maybe this is how I learn. Maybe I'm never going to heal fully, and that's okay. Maybe the best I can do is to accept that I've hurt the people I love, and I have to live with that for the rest of my life. I can't take back what I did, but I can share this with you. I can tell you my story, and maybe, just maybe, you'll understand the weight of what betrayal does. It doesn't just destroy the ones you love. It destroys you too. Because the truth is, when you betray someone, you're not just breaking their heart. You're breaking yours too. You're tearing apart something inside of you that you can't ever rebuild. And once it's gone, once you've shattered it, you'll never be the same. You'll never feel whole again. So if you're listening to this, if you're hearing my words and feeling the pain of what I've said, know that you're not alone. We all make mistakes. But some mistakes carry more weight than others, and it's something you'll carry with you forever. If you've ever faced a moment that changed everything in your life, I want to hear your story. I know I'm not the only one who's felt this kind of heartbreak, this kind of loss, so please leave a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Let me know your thoughts, your experiences. I want to connect with you. And don't forget to like this video if you can feel the weight of betrayal, if you've been there, if you've ever felt that gut-wrenching pain, and if you want to hear more raw, true stories like this one, please subscribe. Join me and let's face the truth together.